Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about parallel lines. So you learn from middle school is the following. A parallel line will look like this. Two lines that never get close together or never get further apart. So these two lines are parallel. Okay, that's what we learned in middle school. Okay, two lines are parallel, either always equidistant. And then last year, you learned the following. Okay, we call this line L and call this line M. For math 1, we learned the following. If line L, and this symbol means parallel, if line L is parallel to line M, then slope of line L is equal to the slope of line M. Okay, so you know that they're equidistant, and if they're parallel, their slopes will always be equal to each other. Okay, that is from math 1. Now, new for today is the following. If you see this symbol, that means similar to the tick marks. What that means is those two lines are parallel. So when you see this symbol, that means the lines are parallel. Okay. So if I'm doing the homework and I see this symbol in the homework, that means the line L and M are parallel. Okay. Now, what you're gonna learn today is something called a transversal, and all it means is that it intersects both lines. So this line, let's call it T, and T stands for transversal. So what I'm saying is this line T intersects both L and M. Okay. Now, if I label the angles forming there, this will be angle number 1. This will be number 2. This will be number 3, number 4. Now, how I number it, it doesn't matter as long as you number each one of them. So when I'm talking about angle 1, you know which angle I'm talking about. If I'm talking about angle numbers 8, you know what I'm talking about. Now, there's something called the interior. Okay, interior means on the inside. So if you're talking about the interior, you're talking about this line right here. So this space right here is considered to be the interior. Okay, and that's on the inside. It makes sense. It is on the inside. Now, all these, all this right here will be the interior. Now, if this interior, we're also going to have exterior. Okay, exterior means on the outside. So if you look at the parallel lines, everything that's outside will be considered the exterior. So these will be the exterior. Okay, let me change the color. Let me change it to blue. So all this, forever in this direction, that is considered the exterior. So all this space right here, the area outside the parallel lines is considered the exterior. So I'm gonna call this the interior. That means the inside. And I'm going to call this the exterior. So this will be the exterior. What's blue will be considered the exterior, and then these will also be exterior. Okay, so when I'm talking about the interior or exterior, I'm talking about inside the parallel lines or outside the exterior, outside the parallel lines. So if I ask you, can you name all the interior angles? Okay, all the angles that are at the inside. That'd be angle 3. Angle 3 is in the interior, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, these are interior. If I ask you, can you name all the exterior angles? That'd be angle 1, 2, 7, and 8. Okay, so interior, exterior, your point of reference is the parallel line, so that's what you're talking about. Now, we also have something similar for the transversal, but there's no inside, okay? So what it is you're gonna use consecutive or alternate. So consecutive means on the same side. So if I ask you, if I'm standing at angle 8, who else will be consecutive on the same side? So it'll be angle 6, angle 4, angle 2. So consecutive means same side of transversal or same side of transversal. So that's what consecutive means, same side of transversal. Now we also have the alternate, and that means different side of transversal. Okay, so for transversal, I can only talk about if it's on the same side or different side. I cannot talk about inside, interior, exterior. Okay, so all the angles, I can classify all the angles. So, for example, let's do the following. Let's do a table. And in that table, I would like to have the following. So I'm gonna do a table, and in here I'm gonna have consecutive, and down here I'm gonna have alternate. Okay, and then right here I'm gonna have interior, and down here I'm gonna have exterior. Now let me finish my table. So for example, let me fix this line. So for example, if I ask you for consecutive interior, consecutive means on the same side of transversal. Okay, and they have to be, so consecutive angles, for example, 2, 4, 6, and 8. They're on the same side of the transversal, but then they should also be interior. That means they should be on the inside of the parallel lines. So of all these four choices, 4 and 6 are only the consecutive interior angles. Okay, so when you talk about consecutive interior angles, you're talking about angle 4 and angle 6. Okay, now another pair of consecutive interior angles. Consecutive, I could be standing right here. 1, 3, 5, or 7. These are consecutive, but they should also be interior. Interior means inside the parallel lines. So you're talking about angle 3 and angle 5. So angle 3 and angle 5. Okay, that's the only consecutive interior angles given this drawing. Okay, now if I ask you for consecutive exterior, that means on the same side of the transversal, but they have to be outside the parallel lines. So if you're talking about these ones, these are consecutive, they're on the same side, but exterior will be only angle 8 and angle number 2. So these would be angle 8 and angle 2. Now another pair of consecutive exterior angles will be 1, 3, 5, and 7. These are consecutive. Now I also want them to be interior. Interior be 5 and 3, so that'd be angle 5 and angle 3. Now, this one they're asking for alternate interior angles. Alternate means different side of the transversal. So one will be here and the other will be here. And they have to be interior angles. So these four, so the ones that are alternate will be 3 and 6. So that'll be angle number 3 and angle number 6. Now the other ones that are alternate interior will be 4 and 5. Angle 4 and angle number 5. Now alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles will be 2 and 8. Angle 2 and angle 8. And then angle out, no, I'm sorry, it's not 2 and 8, it's angle 1 and 8. So this should be a 1. Angle 1 and angle 8, and angle 2 and 7. Okay, so let me erase this mistake. It should be in 1. Okay, this should be angle 1 and angle 8. And this should be an angle 2 and angle 7. Okay, so that's how you name them. It all depends if they're consecutive alternate or interior exterior. Now the amazing thing about these angles, all of them, all angles, what you should know is the following. Um, any two angles, any two, it's right in the word angles, I'm gonna put the symbol. Any two angles are congruent or supplementary. And what supplementary means, if you add them, you're gonna get 180 degrees. So supplementary means the measurement of one angle plus the measurement of the other angle is equal to 180 degrees. Supplementary means if you add them, you're gonna get 180. Okay, so all those angles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all these angles, okay, pick any two of them and they're gonna be congruent or supplementary. Okay, so what that means, that means the following. Okay, consecutive interior, are they congruent or are they supplementary? Well, look at angle 4 and 6. Here's angle 4 and here's angle number 6. Now you may be saying, how do we know if they're congruent if I don't have the measurement? Here's the way you do it. Okay. You need to know the following. Okay. Here's what you're supposed to know. You need to know acute angles, and you need to know the definition of obtuse angles. Okay, and the way to understand and memorize this is the following. If you have a compass, that's an instrument used to measure the measurement of the angles, it starts at 0, and right here you have 90 degrees, and right here you have 180 degrees. So what does acute means? Okay, acute means the measurement of the angle is between 0 and 90. Cannot be 0, can be 90. So it's larger than 0, smaller than 90. So this is acute angle. And the way to memorize it is that is a small angle, and all bases are acute. So 90, if you are between 0 and 90, that's acute. Now obtuse means between 90 and 180. So if you have an angle between 90 and 180, if the measurement is bigger than 90 but smaller than 180, then that'll be obtuse. Okay. Now, if you have obtuse and acute, they cannot be congruent because most than likely they have the same, they have different measurements. Now, if one of them is acute and the other is acute, they should be the same. That means they're congruent. If one is acute and the obtuse and the other is obtuse, that means that they're the same. Now, if I look at angle 4, here's angle 4. This will be 90. So it's bigger than 90, so this is obtuse. Now, if I look at angle 6, 90 will be right here, so this is between 0 and 90, so this is acute. Obtuse and acute, they're different, so therefore they are supplementary. Because remember, you have two choices. Maybe they're congruent or maybe they're supplementary. Well, they're not congruent, so they have to be supplementary. So, let me choose a color. What I need to put right here is supplementary. And what that means, if you add them, they're equal to 180. Now, what about consecutive interior angles? If we look at angle 8 and angle 2, here's number 8. 8 is bigger than 90 degrees because this will be 90. So that's between bigger than 90, so this is obtuse. And angle number 2, this will be acute. Acute and obtuse cannot be equal to each other, so in this case, they will be supplementary. They cannot be equal, so they must be supplementary. Okay. Now, angle 4, alternate interior angles, angle 4 and 6. Here's number 4. It's obtuse, and here's 6. That's acute, so they will be supplementary. Now, alternate exterior will be angle 1 and angle 8. If you look at that, angle 1 is obtuse, angle number 8 is obtuse. So these two angles will be congruent. Okay, let me check this. Consecutive interior, same side interior, they will be supplementary. Consecutive exterior, they will be supplementary. Alternate interior, I think I messed up right here. Alternate interior, 3 and 6. 3, if you look at the dimension of 3, this will be 90, so it's between 0 and 90, so this is acute. If we look at 6, this will be 90, so that is acute. So I messed up right here. They should be supplementary. So let's erase that and put in, I'm sorry, they should be congruent because they're equal to each other. Okay, so I know that if I add these angles, I get 180 degrees. If I add these angles, I should be equal to 180. Now in this case, you don't want to add them. One angle will be equal to the same one. So this is, let's say, 45 degrees. This angle will be 45 degrees, and this will be congruent. Okay. Now we have another special name. It doesn't fit this categorizing, but that is consecutive angles. And what consecutive angles it means the following. Okay. That means that they are in the same position. So imagine that I could cut this line and put this on top of the other one. Okay. When I do that, angle 1 and angle 5 will be in the same position. So angle 1 and angle 5 are on the upper left side. So angle 1 and angle 5 are consecutive angles. So in here, I'm going to write angle 1 and angle 5 are consecutive angles. I'm sorry, angle 2. No, that should be 5. I'm sorry. That should be 5. Angle 1 and angle 5 are consecutive angles. Now, when I put this on top over here, angle 2 is the upper right side. The upper right side will be 6. So 2 and 6 are consecutive angles. Now, angle 3 is the lower left side. Lower left will be 7. So angle 3 and angle 7 will be consecutive angles. Now, angle 4 is the lower right side. If you go to the lower right, that'll be number 8. So angle 4 and angle 8 are congruent. I'm sorry, angle 4 and angle 8 are consecutive angles. Now I have to decide, all these angles will be either congruent or supplementary. If you look at angle 1 and angle 5, angle 1 is obtuse, is more than 90, and angle 5 is obtuse. So they will be congruent. If you look at angle 2 and 6, 2 is acute, that means that is less than 90, and number 6 is acute, that means that is 90 degrees. So all these angles, all of them, they will be congruent. They will be congruent. Okay, so now we know either congruent or supplementary. Okay, so now once you do that, this is the assignment that I gave you for today. So let's try some of these problems. Okay, so I'm gonna do the following. Let me bring the problems up. I don't know why this is not working, but let me click on each one of them and move them up. So question number 1 on the similar to the homework is identify each pair of angles as corresponding alternate interior, alternate exterior, or consecutive interior. Okay, so here's the way you look at it. They're talking about these two angles. They're talking about angle Y and angle X. I don't care about any other one. All I care about this. Now, you have to decide, are those angles consecutive? Consecutive. Or are they alternate? Now, when you talk about consecutive alternate, you're talking about the transversal. Consecutive means same side. Alternate means different side. If I look at X and Y, they're on the same side. So I'm looking at consecutive. Now I have to decide, are they interior or are both angles exterior? Okay. Interior, exterior, you're talking about the parallel lines. Interior means on the inside, exterior means on the outside. Now if you look at Y, it will be on the inside. If you look at X, it will be on the outside. So I cannot classify using this method. I can't. Okay. So we're gonna use consecutive interior exterior, then you have to do the following. If imagine that I could cut this and move this over here, the Y and the X will be in the same position. Will be the lower right, lower right. So both of these angles are consecutive. Okay, those are consecutive angles. And they don't ask me, but what do we know about consecutive angles? All consecutive angles will be congruent. So even though they don't ask me, you know what? I know that they are congruent. That means that they'll be equal to each other. So this is 45, this will be 45, or this is 30, this will be 30. Okay. Now do the same thing right here. They gave me another drawing, and they gave me angle X and Y, but they're in a different place now. So first thing you have to decide is the following. Are they consecutive or are they alternate? Remember, consecutive alternate, you're talking about the parallel line. I'm sorry, the transversal. So consecutive means they are on the same side, either above it or below it. Alternate means they are on different sides. One will be above it and one will be below it. Okay. If we look at X and Y, they will be alternate. Now I have to decide if they're interior or exterior. Now, when you're talking about that, you're talking about the parallel lines. Interior means on the inside, exterior means on the outside. If I look at X and Y, they're not on the inside, they're at the outside. So these are alternate exterior angles. Now, even though they don't ask me, they're either going to be congruent or they're going to be supplementary. So look at the table that we made earlier. Alternate exterior angles will be congruent. So in this case, so both of those angles will be congruent. That means they're equal to each other. Okay, so that's how you know if they're congruent or supplementary is look at them. This is a acute angle and this is an acute angle, so they're equal, they're congruent. Okay, now if you look at the other set of problems, they gave you a problem like this. Solve for x. Now, the way you do it is you do it this way. They gave me this angle and they gave me this angle. So looking at the transversal, they are on the same side. Same side means consecutive. Now I have to decide if the angles will be exterior or exterior. For that, you look at the parallel lines. Interior, that means on the inside. Exterior means on the outside. So in this case, they're both on the inside, so they are consecutive interior angles. Okay, now remember what I told you is any two given angles will be congruent or supplementary. So if I look at this, 90 will be right about here. Sorry, 90 will be 90 will be straight coming down. So this is between 0 and 90, so this is acute. Now 90 will be right about right here. So this will be bigger than 90. So these are acute and these are obtuse. So they're not equal to each other, so they're supplementary. So that means the following. I can write with a measurement of one angle, 5x plus 15, plus the measurement of the other angle will be 110. And that is equal to 180. So for x, step number one, eliminate parentheses, fractions, or decimals. We don't have any. Number two is combine like terms. I can combine these two. 110 plus 15 will give you 125. The 5x cannot be combined with anyone else, so you have 5x over here. The 180 cannot be combined because it's by itself, so that'll be 180. Now, step number three, separate variables and constants. Variable means letters. Letter right here, that's where the letter is, and the constant over here. Letter, who doesn't have a letter? 125, so you're going to do minus 125. What you do to one side, do it to the other side. These cancel, so you have 5x is equal to 0 minus 5 can do it. You need to borrow. That should be a 7, and this should be a 10. 10 minus 5 will give you 5. 7 minus 2 will be 5, and 1 minus 1 will be 0. Get the x by itself, divide by 5, divide by 5, so x is equal to 11. Make sure you answer the question. They asked me to solve for x. I did solve for x, so that's it. I'm done. That is the answer. Okay? So yes, remember, all the problems, they're either going to be congruent or they're going to be supplementary. Congruent means they're equal to each other. Supplementary means if you add them, it will be 180. 180. Okay? You also have a problem that looks like this example right here. Find the measure of the angle indicated in bold. Bold means the writing is darker. So they asked me to find this angle. Okay. Now, how does this angle relate to the other angle? How does this angle relate to this angle? Now, the thing is, They're trying to confuse you. That's why they gave you this line, but this line is not really necessary. Ignore this line. If I focus on this line and this line, are they, this is my transversal. So let me label it. This is my transversal. And one of them will be L, and this will be M. These are my parallel lines. And how I know is because of this symbol. This symbol tells me the lines are parallel. So, if I look at same, if this is my transversal, one is on one side and the other angle is on the other side. So that'd be alternate. Now, if I look at interior, exterior, they're both exterior. So we're looking at alternate exterior angles. In this case, the obtuse acute doesn't, it's very hard to do it because you know what? They look to be 90 degrees from to me right now. But if you look at the table that we did earlier, what do we know about alternate exterior angles? And we know the alternate exterior angles will be congruent. That means that they're going to be equal to each other. So this tells me the following. One angle is 14x plus 6, and that will be equal to the other angle. The other angle is 16x minus 6. Now, step number one, eliminate parentheses, fractions, or decimals. We don't have any. Number two is combine like terms. On the left, nothing can be combined because they're different. On the right-hand side, same problem. They're different, cannot be combined. Number three, separate variables and constants. Where is the variable? Where is the letter? The letter is on both sides. Pick one. Let's have variables over here. And let us have constants over here. Constant means numbers only. I want both of these to have numbers only. If it doesn't have numbers only, get rid of it. He doesn't have numbers only, so I'll get rid of 14x. I'm going to do minus 14x minus 14x. This will cancel. And constant, that is a constant variable, means letters. I would like for all three of these to have a letter. He doesn't have a letter, so get rid of it. Plus 6, we do to one side. You must do it to the other side. This will cancel. Now 6 plus 6 gives you 12 is equal to 16x minus 14x is equal to 2x. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. These cancel, so you have x is equal to 6. Now you gotta go back and make sure you answer the question. The question was find the measure of the angle indicated involved. That's not a measure of the angle. So you have to say the following. I'm gonna take this answer and I'm going to substitute it in here. And that will give me the answer. So I have 14 multiplied by x. X is 6 plus 6. 14 times 6. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 carrier 2. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 2 will be 8. 84 plus 6. And 84 plus 6 will give you 90. So this is the answer. The measurement of that angle is 90 degrees. 90 degrees. Okay. If you need to review solving equations, go to my channel and check on solving equations. Okay. But that's how you do the worksheet. If you need to review again, watch the video over again.